Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. On the menu today, I have my entire Sunday dinner. If you want to know how I made this, stay tuned.
Hashtag, I'm a big deal. Ask anybody for it. I'm a big deal. Very, very, very important. For
So yeah guys, the first thing I'm gonna start with is prepping my chicken. Now I'm using a whole chicken, but you can use any parts of the chicken that you wish. I had a whole chicken, so I went with it. Now I've already cleaned and washed the chicken, so what I'm doing now is literally just blotting it with a paper towel just to get rid of the excess water. And I'm also going to use my knife and just score some holes in the chicken so that the marinade will seep in more. Now this is what I'm seasoning my chicken with. Now I'm going in with a tablespoon of Maggi chicken seasoning. I'm gonna go in with a tablespoon of Maggi all-purpose, and I'm gonna go in with half a tablespoon of my adobo. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for coming by. If you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Now what I'm doing is, now because I like when I fry chicken and it has this golden color, so I'm going with about 1/4 teaspoon of my egg powder. Now after I've done all this, I'm just going to give it a good rub just to make sure all that seasoning is inside and it's just well rubbed in. Now after I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and cut some onions, spring onions, thyme, garlic, scotch bonnet pepper, and just give that all a good mix. Now once I've done this, I'm going to put this aside to marinate for minimum 2 hours. You can do it overnight if you have the time, and you don't really need to set it aside. You can literally set it aside for a few minutes, half an hour, ready for frying. Now I'm gonna go ahead now and start working on my rice. Now this is the peas that I'm using. This is my absolute favorite peas of all time, using the cowpeas.
Now
I didn't salt these overnight, so I'm literally gonna pressure it because your girl like a pressure cooker nowadays. It's quick and easy and just So what I'm doing now, I'm literally gonna pressure my peas for about 25 minutes, and I've just added 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Now after I've pressured it, I'm gonna transfer this in an oven proof pot and I'm gonna start seasoning up my peas. So the first thing we have to put in is the good old coconut milk. Now I am using the tin coconut milk, and because here is winter, they do solidify, but don't worry, once it goes in that water it will just melt. I'm also gonna add about a tablespoon of my ground allspice. Now all this is just my pimento berries that I've just crushed and put in the bottle. Now I'm gonna season this with a thyme, scallion, ginger, a few more cloves of garlic, scotch bonnet pepper, and also I do like in my rice and peas just to put a little bit of the creamed coconut bar. I'm also going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of my Maggi all-purpose seasoning. Now I use this instead of adding salt, but if you prefer to add salt to your pot, you just go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to let this come to a boil and then add my rice. Now when you're cooking your peas, guys, make sure your liquid is not too thick. It should have a thin consistency. Now I'm using long grain rice, and I've just washed that and now just added it into my peas. Now once I've added my rice, I'm just going to cover it and just let it come to a boil. Then I'm going to go ahead now and cover it with foil paper, and I'm now going to put it in my preheated oven, gas mark 5, for about 40 minutes. Now after this time, your rice should be ready. If your rice is not ready, just dip a little bit of water on it, cover it and put it back inside the oven for about a further 10 minutes, but it shouldn't really be that long. It should be ready. So all I'm going to do now is just go ahead and remove all the thyme and the scotch bonnet, the ginger, you know, etc, etc. Then I'm just going to use my fork now just to, you know, fluff up that rice. Now I'm gonna start frying my chicken. So what I'm doing now, I'm adding about 2 cups of flour to a Ziploc bag. I added about 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and I'm gonna season it with my Maggi chicken seasoning, onion salt, celery salt, black pepper, garlic powder. If you have the powder instead of the salt, go ahead and use it. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Now I added about 1/2 teaspoon of each. Now I'm just going to give this a shake in the bag just to distribute that seasoning and the flour, just to distribute everything. Now once you're ready to fry your chicken, what you just need to do is just to go ahead and just, you know, either use your hand or a spoon and just remove the excess seasoning, because we don't want this stuck to the chicken when you're frying it, because it will burn and become bitter. Now all I'm doing is just literally stretching the skin so that it doesn't shrivel up too much. After I've done this, I'm just going to put it in the bag and just, you know, squeeze on that. Just, yeah, I like using a bag when I'm flouring my chicken because I find that it's just less mess, and it's just, I find it a lot easier. Now once my chicken has been floured, I'm just going to take it out of the bag now and just shake it to remove the excess flour. And also just before frying, I'm just going to make sure I put that skin back in place. Now I'm using my fryer, and I've just followed the, you know, the little switch, little knob, whatever you call it. I've just put it to the chicken position, and I'm just gonna fry these. Now I am frying wings at the same time as the leg and thigh. Now I'm gonna fry the wings for about 8 to 10 minutes. Check them. If they're cooked, I'll take them out, and I'm gonna fry the thigh for about an extra 4 to 5 minutes. Now look at the color on this chicken, guys. It's just, I just love the color that the egg powder just gives it, that nice golden color. Now all I'm doing here is just putting back my thigh just to fry for about another 4 to 5 minutes. Now I do like to cover my fryer when I'm frying my chicken, because I find that, you know, it just makes the chicken more softer and moister. It's like it fries, but it kind of just steams the chicken as whilst it's doing it. Now once you finish frying your chicken, please make sure you put it on a rack and not just on tissue paper, because we don't want to lose the crispiness that's on the chicken, and just putting it on paper will cause the bottom to get soggy. Now let's make some juice. So in a pot I've got about 6 carrots that I've just, you know, roughly chopped, and I'm just going to put it to boil with a pinch of salt. And once that boils, I'm just going to leave it to the side for it to cool down. Now I'm going to make some potato salad now. So what I'm doing here, I've just got some cubed my potatoes, and I'm just going to boil it in a pinch of salt and water. I'm not going to boil this until it's cooked. Now once my potato have about 5 minutes left to go, I do like to go in and add just like a little handful of my mixed veg, you know, because I like to have this in my potato salad. Now once this is cooked, I'm going to transfer it to a bowl, and I'm just going to add a few things. So what I'm going to add to my potato salad, I've got some chopped spring onions. Now you can use onion if you want, or chives, but I like spring onions. And I'm also going to go ahead and add some grated cheese. Now the cheese I'm using here is a double Gloucester cheese. Now I'm also gonna add in some mayonnaise. This is roughly about 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Now I've added a little bit more mayonnaise because it needed a little bit more. Now check for seasoning, check for taste. If it needs a little bit more salt, add it. Now what I've added in here also is just a little bit of paprika and some parsley, and I'm also gonna add some dried mixed herbs. And once this is done and it's thoroughly cooled down, just put it in your fridge and leave it until it's time to eat. Now it's time to make some salad, and I'm gonna make it, you know, just how I saw my cousins, my nan, my mom made this when I was growing up. So it's just literally, well, they used to sit down with a knife and just finally do the cabbage. But hey, listen, my time changed now. We have things to make life a lot easier, so I'm just using my little julienne thing, whatever it's called, and I'm gonna just shred the cabbage, and I'm just gonna grate the carrot. Now this is what I used to see them do, you know, just make a little pattern on the cucumber, you know, you just peel it and just use the fork just to go around it, make some ridges, and I'm just gonna thinly slice them. And I'm also gonna thinly slice my tomato. Now this is quite a firm tomato. Now once that's all done, I'm gonna just mix it all up. But before I mix it all up, I'm gonna make a dressing. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of my pickling vinegar. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. I'd say about a tablespoon of sugar, 1/4 tablespoon of black pepper. Give that a good mix and just pour it over. You can also add a little bit of lemon juice, but I didn't add it, but you can add it to it as well. Now just put that in your fridge ready for serving. Now I'm gonna make now the carrot juice. So all I'm gonna do is just transfer my cooked and cooled down carrot to my blender. Now I'm just gonna add my nutmeg. I'd say 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon to the blender just to blend it through. I'm also gonna add my almond milk. Now I did this in 2 batches. Now if you're gonna do it in batches, you know, you just need to use your cinnamon and your nutmeg powder just once. You don't need to add it to your next batch. Now once you've blended all your carrots, I'm just gonna go ahead now and add about another cupful of my almond milk. And I'm also, it depends how you want to sweeten this. You can sweeten this with sugar, honey, but I'm gonna use some condensed milk. Also gonna add about about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm also, you know, I have to add my rose water and almond concentrate. Now I'm just gonna put that aside, put it in the fridge, just, you know, start to chill. Now let's make some gravy. So the veg that was left over from the chicken that I seasoned up with, I didn't throw it away. I'm just going to use that now to make a gravy. So I'm literally just sauteing the veggies in a pot with some olive oil. Now I sauteed these for about 3 minutes, and I'm gonna just crumble in a chicken bouillon cube. Now if you don't have a chicken bouillon cube, you can use, you know, maybe some chicken stock, or, you know, something with a little bit of flavor. You can also use some of your all-purpose or your chicken seasoning. Now once that's done, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and I'm also gonna add just about 1/4 teaspoon of browning and about 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. Now once all that's been incorporated, I'm gonna add now my water. I added about a cup of water, but I added it gradually. Now once I've added all the water, I'm just going to let it come to a boil, and then I'm going to strain this. Now if you don't want to have the bits in your gravy, then you can just leave it in there, but I opted to strain it off on this occasion. I don't always do, you know, it's not really, you know, but if you want that smooth finish for your gravy, just strain this stuff off, pour the liquid back into the pot, and what I like to do is add a little bit of sweet chili sauce. You can add barbecue sauce, or, you know, any little thing that you like to taste in your gravy, but I do like sweet chili sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of sweet chili sauce and just mix that up and just let it come to a simmer. Now all I'm gonna add now, just to thicken it, is some corn flour slurry. Now once this is done, we are ready to just plate this up. Guys, thank you so much for staying with me. If you're still here with me, leave me a fried chicken emoji. Now it's definitely the gravy for me. Some people like their gravy on the side, but when it comes to fried chicken, I do like to just pour that gravy all over that chicken, because there ain't nothing better than chicken and gravy. Absolutely delicious. Get yourself a glass, add some ice to that glass, and pour yourself some of that delicious carrot punch, carrot juice, whatever you call it. And there you have it, guys, my Sunday dinner: rice and peas, fried chicken with gravy, potato salad, coleslaw, and a nice glass of my carrot punch. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up for this video. Don't forget you can follow me on all my social media. And if you do decide to try this meal, don't forget to tag me on Instagram, or leave me a comment down below if you're not on Instagram. But this is a definitely Jamaican style Sunday dinner, you know, something that my grandma used to make. You know, you come from church and this is just the finishing touches is done, and this is on the table. Thank you once again for watching. As I always say, to aim high, work hard but smart, because the sky's the limit and only you can limit yourself. Catch you in the next video, guys. Bye.